Hello and welcome to Yoga with Arya. So today I actually am going intuitively into shoulders and hips because those are the most common areas where we store tension. Obviously, they're huge joints. And given how much time we're spending hunkered down, these are areas that we want to open up and explore. And also, they tend to store a lot of emotion, which is obvious. You see someone who's hunched over and rounded and really protective. They're protective for a reason, or maybe they're sad or they've been hurt. They don't want to get hurt again, right? The opposite, it might be someone who's like walking with their chest up, and that could be overly egotistical or proud, but it is an open, what we think of as an open heart versus a closed heart. And same with the pelvis. We can be overly tucked, walking with this over tucking and collapsing. We could be walking overly open and absorbing too much. So really today's practice is about finding center and finding balance. All right, so let's begin. If you can sit on your heels, I have to use a block for my body. You can use 1, 2, 3 blocks, or you can modify any seated position that you like. We're going to do a little bit of energy awareness with the breath as we begin. So, smile. Take a deep breath in. Pause at the top. Exhale all the breath out. Notice what your arms are doing. Are they comfortable by your sides? Do you want to put them on your lap? Maybe palm into palm. Maybe take a mudra, thumb and index finger together. Your choice. Just notice. Another deep breath in. Notice the breath as it moves through the low back, the sides of the ribs, up into the chest, collarbones, throat, jaw, pause. Do you feel anxiety while you're pausing? If so, why are you still pausing? Exhale at your own pace. If you're still pausing, pause, hold that breath in. Exhale and let it out. Repeat, take a deep breath in. Breathe in the low back. Spread the breath then into the kidneys, the sides, the ribs. Then up into the chest, right? Even armpits between the shoulder blades. Then up into the collarbones. Imagine you're swooshing out your skull. Pause. And I'm asking you to pause because I want you to feel the power of your inhale. But if this creates anxiety or tension, don't listen to me. Listen to yourself. If you're pregnant, you should not be holding the breath. If you have high blood pressure, you probably should not be holding your breath. So listen to your body. Exhale. Release all that breath out. Pause this time with nothing. No inhale, no exhale. You just exhale. Pause. There should be emptiness. Again, notice, where does the mind go? Does it go to anxiety? Does it go into joy? When you're ready, inhale. Inhale from the low pelvis. Inhale into the sides of the ribs, sides of the rib cage. Expand into the upper chest, in between the shoulder blades, armpits, imagine. Collarbones, imagine, receive the breath. Skull receives the breath. Pause. You should be full of energy, full of prana, full of life force, full of chi. Sip in a little bit more. Can you sip in a little bit more? Can you draw the chin down a little, lengthen the back of the neck? Exhale all the breath out. All right, and release. So those of you that are deeply feel other people's energy, right? If you would call yourself an empath or have those empathic type traits, you have to pay attention to your inhale and exhale. Hey, I'm one of you. I am also that person. So if we pause and inhale and we feel anxiety, it's the same energy and action as when we draw other people's energy in and we feel anxiety. It's up to us to exhale it out. Use your breath. All right, untuck whatever, if you have anything supporting your seat, untuck it from behind you. And let's begin by taking a block if you have. If you don't have a block, you can use a blanket, okay? Or you can use a pillow. Blanket or pillow, block, either way, it's gonna go in between your inner thighs. Okay, I like a block because it gives me more to press into. It's not as soft, obviously, as a blanket or pillow, so it makes me work harder. So block would be this direction, long, narrow, up towards the pubic bone. Okay. And then you're going to squeeze gently with your outer hips. So first, squeeze with the inner thighs. Grip, 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 grip. You're going to feel the glutes clench and curl under. The glutes can work, but I don't want them curling under. So now soften the inner thighs back slightly as opposed to rolling them forward, right, towards camera. Soften them back and hug with the outer hips and see how the pelvis lifts up. And as the pelvis lifts up, belly bone lifts, sternum bone lifts. This is all important to create opening and space. Okay, cat and cow with a block. Hands go under the shoulders, about shoulders distance apart. Knees are closer together because you have a block or blanket there. Inhale, lengthen the sternum. Spread the collarbones wide. Exhale, go ahead and squeeze that block. Tuck the tailbone and drop the hip. Inhale, soften the inner thighs back. Lengthen the sternum. Reach the sternum forward. Broaden across your collarbones. Exhale and curl. Belly to spine. Inhale. Inner thighs soften back, sternum forwards, collarbones broad, arms are strong. You're not wiggling those elbows. Exhale, begin the exhale from the tailbone, curl under, glutes will engage, belly engages. One more, inhale. And exhale. Okay, and come back to center. Remove the block from in between the inner thighs and step your right foot forward. So I'm going to turn sideways. Bring your left knee down or keep it down on the floor. Wiggle the right foot as far forward as it can go. Keep the left toes tucked under. And then if you like a block, you can use a block. If it's hard to touch the ground with your hands. If it's fairly simple to touch the ground, you could lower down on elbows and forearms. So I want you to challenge yourself. And then if you want, you can pulse just a little bit back and a little bit forward. Tiny bit, but move from here, move from the center. So inhale, pulse back a little. A slight curl, almost like that cat spine. Exhale and pulse forward, lengthen. Okay. And again, inhale, slight tuck like cat spine. And pulse forward. And one more time, inhale, curl under. Exhale and pulse forward. Okay, if your elbows are down, stretch your arms straight. Tuck your back toes under and come into a runner's lunge. Firm the leg from the thigh, not so much from the kneecap, jamming up from the thigh. And then reach, reach, reach. Reach that left side of the body long. Reach the right hip back towards the back of your mat. And then step your right foot back to meet your left. So right away, if you're like, not going to do plank, can't do plank, or just don't like plank, you have plank, knees down. Okay, knees down or legs straight. Push the arms, broaden the collarbones, lengthen the sternum, and then lift up and back, downward facing dog. If you're modifying and you have your knees down, you could still lift up and back, down dog. Or if you're not doing down dog today from knees down, you're going to rest in child's pose. So you're either in child's pose or downward facing dog. If you're in down dog and you've been holding it this whole time, come on down to child's pose, stretch out your low back, knees wide, reach the arms forward, 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 creep them forward. And then inhale, gaze towards your hands, slide your hands forward, keep the elbows about shoulders distance apart, release your legs back in Sphinx pose. So my shoulders are pretty much right over my elbows. I'm gently pressing the palms and the forearms down, as if my whole area from my elbow to my fingertips is one big paw. So the wrists don't bend. They're an extension of the forearm. And then broaden those collarbones, lengthen the sternum, take a deep breath. Okay, your challenge would be to forearm plank. If that is not good for your body, you're gonna we'll meet you rather, into anahata or puppy dog pose. So knees wide, arms stretched forward, relax the head. If you're taking a forearm plank challenge, you're still there. You're holding your forearm plank, collarbones broad, sternum forward. And then if you're in forearm plank, roll over to the outer edge of the right foot, but keep the forearms in plank. So you're twisting, using those obliques. Switch. Inhale to center, roll over to the outer edge of the left foot. Keep the twist in the forearms, forearm plank. And then let's join everyone else in anahata. Bring the knees down, open them wide, and stretch the arms forward. Let the forehead relax down. Take a deep breath. Exhale completely. All right, come on back to hands and knees pose, second side. Step your left foot forward. Keep your right knee down. Hands to the inside or hands to a block or forearms down to a block or to the floor. Deepen the breath. Now, you're lengthening the outer left hip back, but keeping that left knee forward. So that's challenging, right? The knee wants to open. Attempt to keep the knee forward. Attempt to keep that left sit bone moving back. So you're stretching. And you're lengthening that right leg straight back. Remember, do that little pulsation. Inhale, curl like cat spine. Exhale, extend forward like cow toe. Inhale and curl. Exhale and extend. Inhale and curl. Exhale, extend. Those of you that are deeply empathic, you're feeling a lot. Inhale, notice what you're holding in. Exhale, release what's on your mind. Okay. Release your block if you have it. Take your left leg back to your right, plank pose. So remember, option, you can bring your knees down, half plank, collarbones broad, sternum forward, pause in plank, or if you're in half plank, knees down, right? You're pausing with your knees down, still working your core. If you're in plank, bring the feet together, tap your left leg out to the side, bring it back to center. Tap your right leg out to the side, bring it back into center. Repeat that one more time. If you're in a half plank rather, you're gonna bring your left knee up, try to tap left elbow, bring your right knee up. Oh, that's hard, try to tap right elbow. All right, wherever you are, either child's pose or down dog, and we'll meet up in child's pose. So lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Push arms, push legs. Remember, you can go directly to child's pose. Those of you in down dog, bring your knees down, stretch it out, child's pose. Lengthen through the spine. Lengthen all the way through the crown of the head. And take a deep breath. Exhale completely. Okay, so let's repeat that with a little bit more kind of umph and flow. Okay, 3 rounds of cat and cow. Without the block, unless you really feel like it. Sternum forward, remember, inner thighs roll back slightly, and then exhale, glutes engage, tailbone tucks, head relaxes. One more, inhale. Oh, I said 3 rounds, so 2 more. And exhale. Gotta laugh at yourself if you make a mistake, right? Inhale and exhale. Good. Step your right foot forward. Same sequence. Remember, palms straight, maybe elbows down on block, maybe elbows down without the block. I'm actually going to keep the block. Curl and open. Cat spine, inhale, slight tuck. Exhale and open. Again, inhale, curl. Exhale and open. Release the block. Firm your left leg straight, stretch the right foot back, plank. Or half plank, knees down. Arms strong, collarbones broad, sternum forward. 1 tap, left foot out to the side. 1 tap, right foot out to the side. Repeat, if your knees are down, tap left knee towards left elbow, tap right knee towards right elbow. Tuck your toes under, downward facing dog, or child's pose. 3 breaths, inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Come on down to child's pose. If you are in down dog, stretch. Reach through the arms. Just reach. Take your gaze forward, almost like you're an animal about to pounce. And then slide your hands forward. Forearms stay down. Sphinx pose. Everyone in Sphinx. Collarbones broad. Sternum bone lengthening. Take a deep breath in Sphinx. Option, tuck your toes under, forearm plank, right? Or stay in Sphinx. Roll to the outer right hip. Inhale to center, roll to the outer left hip. Come back into forearm plank. Option on a hatha pose, right? Knees wide, rest here. Or if you have, a fairly intermediate or advanced practice, dolphin pose. Squeeze the inner elbows in. Don't let them broaden, but broaden the collarbones against that.
Whether you're in Anahata, puppy dog pose, or dolphin pose, you're going to come back to child's pose. So bring your knees down and stretch. Take a deep breath in. Exhale all the breath out. Second side. Left foot forward, low lunge. Hands to the inside or forearms to the inside. 3 pulsations. Inhale, curl, tailbone, slight curl, right? But then on the exhale, you really feel that sternum stretch forward. You can see my back move, right? My head tucks under as I inhale and curl. Exhale and open. And one more. Inhale and curl. Exhale and open. Okay. Release. Stretch your right leg straight. Step the left foot back so you know what's happening next. Those taps, right? Knees down. You're going to tap right knee to right elbow, left knee to left elbow. If your legs are straight, you're doing, everyone does 2 rounds. Right foot out to the right, left foot out to the left. Tap. And then from here, back to child's pose or first downward facing dog. Press. Lengthen. Take a deep breath. And then lower down, bend the knees. And child's pose. Deep breath in. Exhale all the breath out. Inhale, come on forward. One more time. Cat and cow. Inhale, open. Exhale, curl. Okay, so you got the rhythm now. Inhale, open. Exhale, and curl. Inhale. Broaden. Exhale. Curl. Step your right foot forward. Lunge. Forearms maybe down on a block or 2. Curl. Inhale. Exhale, open. Inhale, curl. Exhale, open. One more. Inhale, curl. Exhale, open. Release the block. Step it back. Plank pose or half plank. 2 taps each side, right? Remember, half plankers are tapping with knees to elbows. Plankers are tapping feet to wrists. From your plank pose, take a deep breath, downward dog, or directly to child's pose. Those of you in down dog, broaden collarbones, lift belly muscles, and then bring your knees down and join everyone else, child's pose. But stretch. If you were in child's pose before, lift your head up, gaze forward, and then stretch forward, sphinx pose. Squeeze inner elbows in without moving them. Isometrically squeeze so you can broaden collarbones out. Lift sternum, lift belly. Take a deep breath. Stay here or join us in side to side. So you can do side to side with the knees down too, right? You can roll to the right and roll to the left. If your legs are straight, you're doing the same action with the legs straight. Roll to the outer edge of the right foot. Inhale to center, roll to the outer edge of the left. Come back into neutral. Bring your knees down and stretch it back out, child's pose. Take a deep breath. Exhale completely. Come on forward. Second side. Last time. Left foot forward. Maybe forearms down on the block. 3 rounds. Curl. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Okay. Again, those of you that are deeply feeling a lot of stuff, inhale. Notice what you're feeling. Get in touch with your body. Exhale. Let go what you don't want. It's within your power to do this. Inhale. Draw in. Exhale and let it go. Release. Last round here. We're going to go back to plank and do those taps. Remember, you can do knees down or legs straight. Tap. And then tap. And tap one more time. And second side tap. From the taps, we're going to kind of hybridize what we did before. Bring your knees down. Just come directly to child's pose. Pause. Take a deep breath. And we'll do one more round of those twists. So forearms, sphinx pose, belly down, sternum lifts, collarbones broad, legs are strong. And then either tuck your toes under forearm plank or forearm plank on the knees. So you can bend your knees, but don't let the belly dip down, right? Keep the belly strong. So you can bend the knees like so. Lift them and curl to the right. Inhale to center, curl to the left. Or if your legs are straight, twist outer edge of right foot. Inhale to center, twist outer edge of left. Do 2 rounds, whatever you've chosen. And then those of you that are comfortable coming back into dolphin, do dolphin. Everyone else take a break. Focus in dolphin, press the arms straight, practice coming into down dog. And then everyone make your way into down dog, and we'll walk our feet up to our hands and come into a forward fold. Okay, so turn to face you here. Feet are about hip distance apart. Hands are going to come to the ankles. Inhale, stretch forward. Exhale, elbows widen as you fold. Take your hands behind you. Interlace the fingers. Maybe stretch the arms up. And then release the arms down. As you release the arms down, walk your hands over towards your left foot. So right hand to left ankle, left fingertips off to the side. Stretch forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Keep the right hip back as you fold over that left thigh. So lengthen that outer right hip. Don't let it swing forward with you. Take your deep breath here in and all the way out. Stay low and just switch sides. So now my left hand goes to my outer right ankle. I keep my left outer hip pulling back. Try not to let it swing forward. First, I lengthen forward, kind of twist and lengthen. Exhale, twist and fold over the right thigh with this outer left hip moving back. My right fingertips are off to the side for support. Inhale and exhale. All right, I'm gonna come into a squat. Heels in and toes out. Right away, your body's like, I am not gonna squat, or I can't squat, or my knees hate squatting. Take your blocks and you're gonna sit very safely with support on your blocks. Okay, it's kind of fun. If you don't need your blocks, you can lean forward, remove those blocks, and squat. Palms together. Hug those outer hips in. So let's try this. Come forward on the hands. If you're on the blocks, you're going to lift up. Bring your feet to parallel. So I'll bring the blocks back down so you can see what it looks like if I have the blocks there. Okay, so it's like a hybrid squat forward fold. My knees are wide. My spine is pretty straight. Yeah, you're working your legs. And then from here, hug your outer hips in. Like you're trying to make your hips narrower. The knees will come forward. Now pull the thighs back instead of the knees lift or forward like you're about to jump. Pull the thighs back. Outer hips hug in, thighs pull back. Your chest should feel like it's stretching out longer. Again, outer hips in and thighs back. And then keep your left hand down so you can keep it to the inside of that left ankle, knee. Reach the right arm up to the sky, stretch. And switch. Right hand down to the inside, left arm up to the sky, stretch. All right, come back to center. Now you're going to come back to your squat. So use your blocks if you wish. All right, or remove the blocks if you don't want them. Palms together. Keep those hips hugging in. Stretch the spine. Maybe the elbows come up a little higher. And then if you have your blocks underneath you, you don't need them on the ground. I'm going to use them as a visual. Okay, so my left arm is underneath my left knee, and I'm going to get my shoulder as close as I can. You can also put it on a block. Or I can bring it down to the ground and reach the right arm up to the sky, open. Turn the right palm behind me, bend the elbow, take the hand behind my back. Those of you that want to take a full bind, of course you may. And then switch, come back to center, come back to neutral, outer hips hug in, spine is long. And then my right elbow, maybe shoulder slides to the inside of my knee. Right arm out to the side, inhale, open, left arm up to the sky. Internally rotate, palm faces back, and the elbow, take it behind your back. Pause here or bind, take a deep breath. Exhale completely. All right, you've been in that squat for a while. Use your hands for support. Spin your heels back, feet parallel. Forward fold and just sway a little left and right. Knees are bent. Spine is long. Just give it, you can even do like a little figure 8, kind of off to the side and round, off to the side and round. Release from the back. Keep the knees soft, heel toe the feet a little closer together, about hip width apart or outer hip width apart. Bend your knees, curl the tailbone as you roll up. So head is neck, last thing to come all the way up. All right, at the top, inhale, open the arms. Exhale, hands come back to the heart. Okay, so I want to end with a little heart opener, what we call in yoga. Just checking the time. I'm happy, we're doing great. So come on back down. So for this one, you will do well with 2 blocks.
If you don't have 2 blocks, you have like an exercise ball, you can certainly use an exercise ball. So I give you modifications and options. If you don't have 2 blocks, I prefer the blocks. Okay, let me just say that. If you don't have 2 blocks, I'm sure everyone can find a blanket. Your third option would be to take a blanket, fold it, and then wrap it tight, like if you're making a burrito, okay, like a tight roll. Oops, there goes my yoga mat. So blocks, you're gonna set up 1 block under the shoulder blades, 1 block under the skull. The block under the skull does not go into the neck, it goes into the occiput, base of the skull. The block under the shoulder blades goes at the bottom tips of your shoulder blades, right? So you can see my yoga bra, it's gonna go right up with that yoga bra, not underneath it and not into my neck. So it covers the shoulder blade. And then I bend my knees, kind of line up the bottom of the block with the bra line, the bottom of the shoulder blades. And this block, again, do not put it in your neck. You'll hurt yourself. Put it under the base of the skull. This is like the sweetest position ever. Okay, so let's say you don't have blocks. You can mimic the same thing with a blanket and a pillow. Okay, so remember your rolled up blanket? That's gonna go under your shoulder blades. And then you're gonna grab a pillow or 2 or 3, right? And put it under your head. So if I do the blanket roll goes under my shoulder blades. And then my head, I might need to double this up. This pillow is super soft. Goes under the pillow. And then you have to wiggle the blanket so it's on the lower edges of the shoulder blades, not the upper. Okay? If you have an exercise ball, you can use it. So last option is to use that exercise ball, which is actually the more active of all of these 3 versions. Now, wherever you are, if you're on the blanket blocks, wherever you are, stay there. If you want to join along and you don't have blocks or blankets or pillows, or don't like them, you can, super sweet. So wherever you are, you're resting. I'm not going to go back to the blocks at this point, but you're resting, right? Maybe you reach your arms overhead. You can do this in all versions. If this hurts your shoulder, don't do that. If this hurts your shoulder, bring your arms straight up, almost like your fingertips to the ceiling, and then lift the arms overhead, and then maybe bend the elbows, right, if you have a ball. If you're on blocks or blankets, you might have to bend the elbows and grab a hold of the forearms. Broaden the collarbones. And take 2 more deep, slow breaths. And then when you're ready, you're going to release. If you're in a ball, just be mindful so you don't go shooting forward. And come on down. If you're on blocks, you have to wiggle off to the side. You'll figure it out. All right, come and have a seat. I like to elevate my sit bones with a blanket. You don't have to. It works well for my body. So as you come into a comfortable cross-legged position, or you can do like a half lotus or any hybrid, right? Posture, seated posture. Take a mudra position, please. Thumb and index finger touch. I'm gonna give my knee a little extra love and pat it. This is my knee and side that is quite different than this side. Let your spine feel really tall. So you're sitting super, super tall. And as you're sitting super, super tall, lengthen up the sternum bone, broaden the collarbones. Let the outer hips in just a little. You could even use your hands if you want. Push the arms up, kind of lift your seat up, squeeze the hips in without tucking too much, right? It's going to tuck a little. Don't over tuck. And sit down so you're right on your sit bones, so they're not behind you or in front of you. And then come back into a lengthening, expansive position. So we're going to do a little visualization, right? A little bit of self-Reiki, so to speak, a little bit of energy work. You're going to keep your left hand, thumb, and index finger touching. Your right palm is going to open. And you're just going to hold your hand a couple inches. So I'm going to have my hand about 5 inches from my heart center, the place we worked just a moment ago. And whether you believe in this or not, and the mind is very powerful. So imagine, and if you think this is all bogus, nonsense, silly stuff, imagine that you have a light beam coming out of the palm of your hand, and you're shining that light beam right in the center of your metaphorical heart, your energetic heart. And as that light beam shines, you kind of even move your hand clockwise direction, almost like you're polishing the heart beam. And those clockwise circles can get a little bigger or smaller, right? Just use your intuition. There's no right or wrong. Your breath is however you want it to be. There's no right or wrong pace of the breath. You might find that your hand drifts over to the side, maybe like you're polishing the left shoulder, maybe a little over polishing the right shoulder. That's okay, but then come back to center. Now take a gentle breath, pause whatever movement you're doing, and imagine that beam of light shines all the way through you. It's metaphorical, right? Even at that level, mind is extremely powerful. We know the power of the placebo effect. If you believe in energy work, then you know that this is powerful work, right? Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, slowly lower the hand to just above the belly button. Okay, this is your third chakra, Manipura, the place of the ego, healthy ego, right? And once again, tiny little circles, maybe, or just hold it. Visualize a light beam coming through the body. Take a gentle motion if you have it. It might even be imperceptible, or there might be no movement at all. Now, if you're deeply religious, bring in your aspect of God or source, wisdom, consciousness, whatever higher power you pray to, bring that in and ask for love, ask for healing, right? If that is not your practice, connect to the love and wisdom of the universe, connect to the consciousness that is you, right? Not your mind, but your consciousness. Take another gentle breath. Exhale complete. And the last place you're going to hover is just at the root. Okay, so my hand actually turns down a little, so my pinky moves towards my body, almost like I'm cupping the energy in. And I'm just a few inches at the pubic bone area. I'm not all the way underneath me. I'm not towards the sex organs, right? I'm just at the pubic bone. You can rest your forearm on the thigh or make little tiny pulsations. And again, imagine a beam of light. Your root chakra is where you feel safe. It's also where you feel obviously unsafe when that's out of balance. So it's fear, primal emotions. What are you afraid of? Right? Are you afraid of illness? Are you afraid of death? Are you afraid of someone or something in your life causing you harm? Are you afraid of yourself not doing what you want to do here in this life? We all have fears. They're all valid. But the key is, do we have to live with our fears? Do we have to absorb them? Do we have to project them? Well, I don't know. It's up to you, right? The question is, what do I choose to do with my fears? They're there. What do I choose to do with them? Take another gentle breath and exhale. And you're going to slowly sweep up. So slowly from the root chakra to the second chakra, beam that light beam. Third chakra, that was the ego. Fourth chakra, that was the heart. Fifth chakra, which we didn't get to today, that's your throat. Up across your third eye, up across the crown of the head, and imagine that you seal. You can even pinch your thumb and index finger together. Seal your energy. Take a deep breath in. And then create a little arc over the body as you lower the hand down. Bring your thumb and index finger together. And then from here, bring your palms together with intention and with purpose, signifying balance and ease between the right and left sides of the body. Take a gentle breath. And I like to end traditionally, namaste. Thanks so much for joining me today for this energetic practice, shoulders and hips, and a little bit of energy work. Have a beautiful day.